it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up today with another advent calendar layout. And this one, I don't know which month this is going in, so you'll have to wait till the voiceover and I'll tell you which month this is. But it's using this super cute photo of my sister and her husband and the two boys. And I just wanted to quickly show you, I made some embellishments off camera just of an evening. I was kind of playing around with my punches. So I've got a 3/4 inch punch, a 1 inch punch, 1.5 inch, 2.25 inch, and then this starburst punch, which is slightly smaller. It's probably a 2 inch because it's slightly smaller than this one. So I've got these punches. All of these ones are from Stampin' Up, and this one is from EK. So, and then I used this Chasing Butterflies collection from the Reject Shop, which is Rosie Studio. So I've got that, and I've also got the die cuts that go with that collection. And what I just did was literally I punched like heaps of circles, and then I'll bring one up close so you can see. So then I've layered the circles on top of each other and just used my tiny attacher to staple those together. So some of them are stapled straight, and then some of them are popped up like this. Oh, can you hear that? That's my son awake. Let me just turn that down because he will happily talk to himself for a minute or two while I finish this. So they are the kind of little embellishments that I made, little circle embellishments, and I want to do some kind of circle design on the page. So I'm not sure yet exactly what I'm doing, but you know, I kind of want to create a background with these, if that makes sense. So I'm going to switch you on fast forward, have a play around. Well, actually I'll get my son up, play with him for a bit, and then come back to doing this at a later point today. But I just wanted to do a bit of a live intro just to explain to you and show you the bit of work that I've already done, which will speed up this video tremendously. But I also was just playing around at night and didn't have my camera going. I wanted to use them. I've got some spare circles here, but I don't think I'll use those. And then some ephemera that I've pulled out of here that I think will work. Yeah, so that's what we're playing with. I will switch you into fast forward now and you can see this all come together. Okay, so I'm back after playing with my son for a bit and taking him over to his Olma's for a visit. So I thought I'd quickly finish off this video and do the voiceover before he gets back. So I checked and I said I would tell you which month this photo was for, and it is for the month of August in Jess's camera. The photo isn't kind of meaningful to the month of August, but there was just nothing else that was particularly meaningful in that month, so I went with this cute family photo. So there were a couple of months where there was no kind of milestones to celebrate, so I just went with the cute photo, and this was one of them. So I'm just laying out my circles. I don't want too many of like the predominantly same pattern next to each other or near each other, so I just kind of move around a bit. And also there are a few that didn't have the 2.25 inch circle base. They had the starburst base only, and I wanted to make sure there weren't too many of those next to each other too. So I kind of was bearing that in mind while I was laying them all out. And you can see here I'm just sort of pushing them down a bit, and you know, I didn't want them to fill the entire page, but obviously I wanted them to fill the majority of the page. I was actually only going to do 3 rows, but then I realized I had 5 circle embellishments left, and I thought, I'll just do 4 rows. Then I don't have any left over. So before I stick down my circles, I am just mounting my photo on some white cardstock, and then I'll pick another of the pattern papers to mount as well. To mount it on, sorry, or to layer behind my photo. Oh, words today, difficult. So, how are you guys enjoying our series so far? How's December going for you? If you've watched our Advent Calendar series for the last few years, this is our 4th year doing it. What are you thinking? What do you like our change up that we're doing our calendar for each other for 2020 rather than making DIY gifts? So we were certainly really pleased with the change, and I imagine we'll do it again next year this way, but who knows? Maybe we won't. We'll wait and see when that year comes. Yeah, so as I said, this is our 4th year, so really loved it. And really enjoying giving each other presents because it's fun to open a present every day in December in the lead up to Christmas. Advent calendars are not just for children. Remember that, people. Remember that. So here I am. I picked the pattern paper that I want to layer, and I've gone with the blues because I like blue. That's really the only reason. The boys are all wearing blue in their photos, and there's jeans and stuff. So yeah, there wasn't anything very bright in the photo, which actually made it really good to pair with this collection because there's lots of colour in this collection, and it was good to pair it with the photo because the photo, they're quite subdued, and they've got kind of quite muted colours that they're wearing in their clothing, so it was a nice contrast. So I was pleased about that. So I've now stuck down all my circles. You really didn't need to watch that. I have popped some up on foam dots, but only the ones with the starburst backgrounds without the 2¼ inch circle. You can't really tell on camera that that's what I've done, but that's what I've done. And so I'm popping my photo on some foam and sticking that down. So all of the circles behind my photo are stuck down flat. Well, as flat as I can get when there's staples behind them, which isn't perfectly flat, but that's okay. And then I pulled out some thickers. These are actually Amy Tan thickers, and I used to have, I reckon 5 or 6 packets of them. They were my favourite quite a few years ago when they first came out, and this is all I have left. I've made up some words, and then I got rid of the others, and I just used them on a project. And I saw someone actually online start to use them to as adding dimension behind things. So that is a great idea, and I am so going to do that with my leftover thickers because foam squares are expensive. Anyway, one of the words I'd made was love this, and I thought that worked quite well, so I used that for a title, and you saw me faff around a bit with where I was going to put it, but I end up obviously putting it under my photo. And now I'm going through the bits of ephemera that I'd pulled out, and I'm just adding one piece of ephemera to each of the circles. That's literally it. And so you watch me kind of decide where I want to put the ephemera, and I'm sort of trying to, make sure the colours go, and the ephemera doesn't match anything. Like, there's totally random. There's a cat, there's an echidna, there's a camera, there's a hat, a lady's hat, there's a kite. I mean, really, it doesn't go together at all, but it looks cute. I mean, the colours match because obviously they're all from the same collection. So that's enough for me. So as I said, I'm just adding a piece of ephemera to each of the circles, and that's kind of my layout done. I dropped my phone. Oh, this is a disaster when you're trying to voice over with a phone. So, yes, sorry. That was, I thought I'd lost my headphones out of my phone, which meant my recording would have stopped, but I didn't. So here I am layering up, as I said, the ephemera pieces onto each of the circles, and just kind of making sure that I don't have too many. So I have 4 circles that have hearts in them, and they're the only one of the embellishments that I double up on. So I just wanted to make sure they weren't kind of close to, well, they're close to each other obviously, but not beside each other. So I just am moving a few things around to get the placement that I'm happy with, and then I will stick everything down. And again, I do not make you watch me stick everything down. I edit that part out because they stay in exactly the same place as where they ultimately end up before I start sticking. So don't move anything after that. And so I figured there's no point you watching me stick all those things down. And I had a few little tiny words I wanted to add as well. So they say high five, charming, this is us, yippee, and loved. Because I thought they were cute. Oh, and that speech bubble says, oh, you make my heart flutter, which I thought was super cute and relevant because it's a very lovely family photo. So I have now stuck everything down, and now I had a disaster moment happen, which I edited out because nobody needed to see this. So I got these Nouveau Stone drops in chalk white, and I went to use them today for the first time, and I got a scrap piece of paper out like I'm doing here to practice my drops, and I was squeezing and nothing was coming out, and just before I was like, oh, I need to get a pin to empty it out, I clearly squeezed too hard, and the nozzle popped off, and I had the chalk white Nouveau Stone drops everywhere. Luckily not on my layout because that would not have come off. It just went on my desk, and I was able to wipe it up, and I was able to scrape it with a palette knife and add it back into the tub of Nouveau drops. But that was a disaster. Oh dear. So anyway, mental note to self, don't squeeze too hard. If nothing's coming out of your Nuvo drops, go and get a pin and clear it out. That was so silly. So I'm just adding some of the Nuvo drops to each of the embellishments. Some I add 3 drops to, some I add 2, some I add 1. It's all a bit random really. Just adding. Oh, and I forgot to voice over the bit. I also added a couple of little asterisks, there probably are, from the thicker words into a few of the circle embellishments. So I actually added them to 2 of the embellishments in each row because I just thought that was cute. So I have, I've added the stone drops and the black asterisks just to tie a bit more of the black in from the title, because I felt like that was kind of the only black, and it was a bit, it stood out a bit too much. And then to finish it all off, I am adding some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in gold, and that is it. I will show you a still photo at the end here so you can get some close-ups and see it. I really like how this turned out. I love this technique, and I have actually done it a few times before. So I hope you like it, and we will see you in tomorrow's video. Alright guys, bye!